In some ways, Athens is sort of like a chemistry kit. If you ever were a kid and you had one of those chemistry kits that you would buy, you'd come with all of these different materials, and sometimes you just start combining them, and crazy, interesting things would happen that weren't part of the rule book. And I think Athens operates like that to a great degree.
In 5 years, my dream Athens, if I'm putting on my community foundation hat, is that we are using shared data to drive informed decision making.
We've got fantastic resources in the university and Athens Technical College and the business community.
I dream of the blueprint of what other cities in this country will want to be like.
I see Athens as a fully functioning ecosystem, and where all the different components of Athens are working together for a future, a bigger vision.
A community that's really thriving with entrepreneurs and new businesses, especially capitalizing on our creative community here.
I see a community that is culturally robust, especially downtown Athens.
There's a saying that a rising tide lifts all boats, and I see that Athens can be that rising tide that brings up all aspects of its community.
I think one of the barriers that we need to overcome to be successful in educating our students is the barrier of people thinking it's only one or two groups' responsibility.
People need to better understand what the organizations that already exist in our community, what the roles are of those organizations, also how they can get involved, and what success looks like for a community like ours.
The need for affordable, attainable housing, better solutions to address everyone who suffers behavioral health challenges, and access to affordable and safe childcare.
A better communication system, allowing us to recognize that Athens don't belong to just one particular party, one particular race, UGA, African American community, or the Hispanic community, that it takes that combined effort to really get us to start talking and working together for the future vision of Athens.
You've got restaurateurs and artists and educational folks and people in the nonprofit sector. And in Athens, they end up in spaces together, and they do just super cool things that wouldn't happen if any of them were acting alone.
The same way that the music industry in Athens was able to boom, focusing on the smaller bands and promoting them, and the community really getting behind them. I think some of our time and energy, in my experience, should be focused a lot on a lot of our smaller entrepreneurs.
And you've got people in Athens who are willing to kind of dive into the unknown and take chances. I think of folks who are moving kind of up Chase Street and up Barber Street and opening up new establishments.
It's not just a protocol with the diversity and inclusion that you check off the list. It's something where you have to start building relationships.
Here in Athens and throughout the country, we often live our lives in little boxes, and I think that we have a great opportunity in Athens to get to know the people that we share this community with. So whether it's people who don't look like us, or live in a different part of town, or work in a different field, there's so many interesting people, and I think we just need to get out of our little boxes and get to know everybody here, and we collectively can do some great things together.
If there wasn't a funkiness about Athens, it wouldn't be nearly as cool. You could have every cool national brand in Athens, and there's some cool national brands, but sort of the homegrown, earthy funkiness of Athens, for me, makes this like a more vibrant, livable place than it would be under any other circumstances.
I think we're at a pivotal point in our community because there's tons of opportunity, but there's still a ton of work to be done, and I think there always will be. But I think with people like you and people we don't yet know, we can do some good stuff.
Just like when we win that national championship and people are ringing that bell at the university lined up, I think when we have new workforce development initiatives or new ideas coming into town, that new prospect that's decided to name Athens home, we'll be out there ringing the bell.
Absolutely.
People like to be on the sideline and say, yo, well, this, you should have done this differently. You could have said, okay, what are you willing to do to be a part of the process? And I think that's where the new Athens, the new energy is coming from now.
And you can't put all those people in a box. You can't say you have to be in this club over here, this club over there. We have to find ways to make sure that they, that their unique identities are celebrated through this ecosystem.
I like that.
Yeah.
Celebrate the uniqueness of Athens. That's
Why
what we
not?
need to start doing. We need
Let's
to,
do it.
because that's what makes Athens. All the
Amen.
uniqueness and all the
Great.